Hey everyone, welcome to Life at ADP, the podcast. Today is a super exciting day today because we have a special guest with us, and Ingrid. This guest and this topic is near and dear to your heart. So on that note, do you want to introduce our guest speaker for today?
Hey, Kate. Yes, I am so excited. I mean, I'm always excited with all of our special guests that we have here. But, for me, Lisa, it's a little bit different because she was my first view into ADP, right? We mentioned in a last season how I came to ADP as an intern and then I became a full-time employee, which, many years later, I'm still here at the company. And so it's a beautiful testament of the campus program. So I'm super excited to introduce Lisa Schmidt. She's the Senior Director of Campus at ADP. And yeah, Lisa, why don't you tell us a little bit more about you, how long you've been at ADP, what attracted you to ADP, but also why you had an interest in campus recruiting.
Ingrid and Kate, thank you so much for having me on the show today. I'm super excited to be here. And how ironic is it, Ingrid, that you're introducing me when 6 years ago, I was introducing you to ADP, and here we are 6 years later. You're like the poster child for campus recruiting, hence you started as an intern, and now you have a successful career at ADP. So yay, thanks for having me. And I would be happy to talk about who I am and how I fit into this picture. So I have been recruiting for, goodness gracious, 20 plus years. And throughout my career, I've interviewed and done recruiting in all aspects, from entry-level talent to executive talent. And my passion lies within the campus space because I get to help make a difference in students' lives. And who doesn't remember their first job, right? Like, I know I can remember who hired me for my first job. So I feel like I'm really making an impact in students' lives. So I'm super excited to be in the campus space, leading the campus team here at ADP. And I've been doing it at ADP for almost 9 years now.
Wow, that's amazing. Lisa, you are just someone who actually very much like Ingrid, someone who everyone in the organization knows. You've made so much impact on various people throughout, whether it be, specifically in the two programs that, you help nurture with the HR development program and then the global products and technology program, or just really a friend to have in the office. So thank you for all of the work that you do. So campus today, what are you seeing? What's hot out there? What are the questions that you're being asked by students, and what are your responses?
The market out there is competitive. Students have a lot of job offers at their fingertips. So it's really important that we hone in on what they're looking for and offer them just that. So, for example, what students are looking for would be obviously career growth and development. That's really important to them. And also how fast they can climb that corporate ladder. And another important piece would be meaningful and impactful work. This is something that we haven't really heard in the past, but it's one thing to have a job that has a decent salary, but it's another to have a job that you really feel like you're making a difference at. And that's what's speaking to our students today. How are they going to make an impact at ADP?
Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I could understand. I remember when I was looking for an internship, the first thing that I thought about my internship is that I actually wanted to do meaningful work, right? I wanted to do real work. I didn't, at the time, and I think I talked about this in the past, the idea for internships was just get your foot in the door. It doesn't matter if they make you do errands. It doesn't matter if they send you for coffee. As long as you get your foot in the door, and you will be able eventually to, work your way up. So, that was the mentality that for me at my time, it was going on around, my school and with my different friends. And for me, it was totally different. It was a beautiful surprise when I landed my internship at ADP. And from day one, I was talking to people and, I was getting a sense of the culture, and I was already putting my print into real projects, right? So for me, that was different. For me, that was like, wow, this is great. This is pretty cool. So I could definitely understand, and I could definitely see how students are looking for, meaningful and impactful work with their internships. So, Lisa, I know ADP has this amazing program. It's the Global Product and Technology Development Program, also known as GPT Dev Program. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about the program, Lisa?
Sure, Ingrid, I'd be happy to. And if you're a student listening, please perk up your ears because you're going to want to hear this. We have an amazing opportunity for software engineers. So we look for computer science majors. And there's two prongs to this program. You spoke about meaningful work, Ingrid. Let's take a step back to the intern program for global product and technology, because that's our feeding pool into our full-time program. So when you come to us as a rising senior, and like I said, we look for computer science majors. When you come to us as a rising senior, you do a 10-week internship with us in the summer. It's full-time, 10 weeks, and you work on a meaningful project. And we consider that a 400-hour interview because while you're with us working on this meaningful project, delivering results, we're seeing if you'd be a good fit for our organization. And if you are a great fit for our organization, the goal is to convert you to a full-time hire into this global product and technology development program. So how great would it be that you're in between your junior and senior year, you're doing an internship at ADP, and at the end of your internship, within the last week, you're going to be given an offer so that when you go back to campus in the fall, you have a job all lined up for when you graduate the following May. On the other hand, as we're looking at you doing your 400-hour interview, you're looking at us. You're looking at ADP to see, hey, is this a place where I want to start my career journey, grow my career? So it's beneficial for you as the student just as much as it's beneficial for us as the employer. It's a win-win because you know when you accept this job at the end of the summer that this is the right place for you. And we know that this is the right place for you based on your work that you've produced during that 10-week internship. So let's fast forward to the full-time program. So you get your job offer at the end of the summer between your junior and senior year. And I might remind you or let you know that it's undergrads that we take for this program as well as master grads. So for an internship, you either have to be a rising senior in your undergrad program, or you can be between your first and second year in your master program. And then we bring you to graduation and we start you in the Global Product and Technology Development Program. This is an amazing program. I get so excited when I talk about it because it encompasses a lot of different facets. For example, when you start with us, you're going to go through a 6-week training program. We're going to give you all the tools, the technology that you need to be successful at ADP. And we're going to teach you what tools we use. We don't expect that everybody coming in is going to know the same language or tech stack. Everyone's going to come in with a different learning ability. So we will work through that with you, so have no fear. So as you're going through this 6-week training program, and it's led by an instructor, you are also doing a group project. And every week, as you do this group project, you'll have a sprint review every Friday. You'll present to leaders who come in to listen to your progress of what you're doing on your project. And then also, in addition to the sprint reviews, there are different opportunities to meet the leaders in the organization. They're going to come in and they're going to pitch their products to you. In addition to pitching their products to you, we're going to have different networking events where you're going to get to meet the leaders and the leaders get to meet you. Why do we do all this first 6 weeks? Because we're giving you an opportunity to have a say in what your future looks like. This is another amazing aspect of the program. After the 6 weeks of training, you are going to write down your top 5 choices of who you want to work with. And that's going to be based off of the leaders who you have met throughout this 6-week journey. And the leaders are going to put their top 5 choices of who they want to have work with them. And then, I love to boast about this, an algorithm that was created by one of our students in the program will match you up with who you are going to land with after the 6 weeks. And then you will begin your journey with that manager and that tech stack.
Lisa, first of all, thank you for walking us through the program. I can only imagine that our listeners right now, if they are in campus right now, they are literally going to tech.adp.com to see what campus programs or openings we have available right now. And for those that are, outside of campus, they're probably wishing they were in campus. So thank you for that. When do you start recruiting for this program? Because I'm sure some people are wondering, is February too early? Or can you share a little bit about what the hiring process looks like?
Great question, because that's what our students need to know, right? So we hit campus in September, and we recruit in the fall for this program, for our internship program for the following summer, as well as the GPT, the Global Product and Technology Development Program. So we begin recruiting in the fall, and we actually try to get all of our hires for the program done by the end of that year, so by December. Now, it doesn't always work out that way, so we go back to campus in the spring, and we fill the gaps where we weren't able to fill all of the positions. So we start in the fall. So for all of you out there, please go to your career fair, go to any event that we host on campus, because it's giving you an opportunity to look inside ADP, what we do, what we're about, what our culture is like. So don't miss out on those early fall activities.
And Lisa, you mentioned fall events, specifically a huge one where ADP shows up and shows out every September is Grace Hopper. So for anyone here, if you're going to Grace Hopper, make sure that you stop by our booth. We will be in person and virtual this year, which is really exciting. It'll feel really great to be back live as of today. So make sure that you stop by the booth.
Absolutely. Grace Hopper is a really big event for ADP. We're very passionate about it, looking for diverse female technologists to add to our organization. So yes, if you're going to be a Grace Hopper this year, please stop by our booth to see us. And we do interviews right on the spot. So be prepared to interview. And that's another helpful hint. When you do come to Grace Hopper, if you're part of that event, be sure to have your resume with you, because you could be given an opportunity right then and there and walk out with an offer in hand.
Thank you so much, Lisa. That was super amazing. And I could definitely tell you that, accepting that full-time offer with ADP was the best decision that I have made so far. So yes, and you were mentioning having your resume ready. What other tips and tricks for interviewing or resumes, or just in general, would you recommend?
I love this question. And I hope that everybody listens to the answer, because there's nothing more frustrating for my campus recruiting team to be out there. And when a student approaches us and we ask them, hey, what are you looking for? And they say, oh, I don't care. I'll do anything. Not the right answer. Work on your 30-second elevator pitch. Go in with meaning. Go in with meaningful purpose, right? You want to do meaningful work? We want to hear a meaningful purpose of what is it you want to do for us? So my recommendation when you go to a career fair is have your 30-second elevator pitch ready. Look before you attend the event. Who are the companies that are going to be at the event? And then do a little homework so that you can look into the opportunities at ADP. So when you come to our booth, you can say to us, hey, I saw that you have this awesome GPT development program and you're looking for software engineers. I'm a computer science major. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? So prepare yourself for the event so you can make the most of the event that you're attending. Okay, so we got our 30-second elevator pitch, right, to the recruiter that's standing there. The other thing I would say when it comes to preparing your resume, and this is outside of a career fair booth, make sure you look at the job description that you're applying for. Because with technology being what it is today, you could have a human being looking at that resume, or you could have a bot looking at that resume. So if you're looking at the job description, you want to pull keywords out of that job description and make sure they're on your resume. So if you've got a bot looking at your resume, you're going to get pulled at the top of the list, because some of these bots will stack rank your resume and it'll say, oh, Lisa Schmidt is 100% qualified for this role based on their resume. Kate's 90% and Ingrid is 80%. So the way you're going to win that war against that bot is you're pulling those keywords out of that job description and you're putting them in your resume.
Lisa, I think that showing a little bit about the technical side in talent acquisition and how people can even start, the interview process from something as simple as a bot selecting them to start off with is really going to be like an aha moment for anyone listening to this podcast today. And I would assume that for those people who are looking to get into ADP, they'll probably be weaving in some of our job descriptions, campus or not, into their resume before submitting. So I want to play a quick game before we close this out, and it's called Hot or Not. And I want your take on this.
Okay, let's go. Let's go, Kate.
Okay. Someone asking you, what does ADP do? Is that hot or is that not?
Hot. Do you want me to explain why I think it's hot?
Yes.
Fair enough. I think it's fair. When you're coming to a career fair, ADP is such a big company and we do so many different things from hire to retire when it comes to software development. So I think it's fair to ask the question. We're used to getting that question and we get it a lot. So I would say hot.
Okay. Next question. Dressing casual at an event or an interview? Not.
I'm a little old school with this, but I always say you should dress for the job that is the step above the job that you're going for. And it just shows respect. Like I said, I am old school. So me personally, it might vary from who's interviewing you, but I like to be dressed for success. So I like it when someone comes dressed for an interview with a suit on.
Okay. And lastly, hot or not, bringing paper copies of your resume to a career fair, hot or not?
That's like an interesting question, like pre-COVID, post-COVID, right?
Oh,
Because everything's so hands-free now, right? I mean, right now we go to career fairs and we have QR codes up there. So, we don't have iPads anymore for students to put their information in. The QR code brings them to our talent communities. But there is something to be said for having a resume in the hand of the recruiter so they can look at it as you're going through it. So I would say hot, bring your resume. It's up to the recruiter if they want to take it in their hand or not. But I would say hot.
Excellent. Great answer.
Lisa, thank you so much. It has been so much fun to have you at the podcast, but also there's a lot of informational stuff here. So to our audience, definitely make sure that you listen and remember some of these useful tips. And with that, we just want to say thank you again. I know it's a busy time for you and, you took time to share with us and with the audience. So thank you so much for your time and for sharing with us today.
Thank you so much, Ingrid and Kate, for having me. It has been a pleasure. And like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the podcast, I have a passion for helping college students. So please, if you're listening and you want to send me a LinkedIn message to connect, my name on there is Lisa Albrecht Schmidt. So please find me and I will accept your invite.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you both. Have a great day.
If you are looking for an internship or just your first full-time career, definitely make sure to check tech.adp.com and jobs.adp.com.
This is Kate.
And this is Ingrid.
And we are part of Life at ADP, the podcast.